All signs point to this, as recently the New York Yankees have gotten some excellent updates via multiple outlets, as the team now is going to be getting some much needed reinforcements as revealed by Aaron Boone. And we are going to break all this down with all the trade talks still looming for the Yankees looking to make upgrades. So a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. And if you guys are part of the channel and not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe if you're part of that 71% that's not yet subscribed to Yankees Digest. But let's jump into the video. We have a lot to discuss on the New York Yankees, as the team is going to be getting multiple reinforcements as revealed by Aaron Boone, who spoke out a bunch just about recent injury updates and where the New York Yankees are standing with some positions of need, and obviously with all the trade rumors looming for the Yankees trying to find a way to make upgrades for as cheap as possible. So this obviously is going to have a huge impact on the season, as now we know a lot more about multiple different players. First, starting off with a longtime New York Yankee in DJ LeMahieu. Now, there has been a news update from DJ LeMahieu, as Aaron Boone said that LeMahieu is about a week away from taking live at-bats. It would be a pretty big buildup, and Boone saying, I'd want him to have a spring training. Now, if you guys recall, DJ LeMahieu did not have a spring training, as he didn't even last one game before injuring his calf, which obviously was a huge blow to the Yankees. LeMahieu has not been the same player that he was a couple of years back, but he still is someone who's a good voice around the locker room. It's one of the reasons why the Yankees didn't DFA him last year, is the players were adamantly against not having LeMahieu in the locker room. They really like what he brings to the table off the field, and the hope is that if he gets healthy, he can at least reach some version of that guy that he once was with the Yankees. Obviously, it feels like a stretch, but if he could pull it off and just be someone who gives a consistent contact bat still, that would absolutely be huge for the team. And the Yankees still don't have a leadoff hitter, and having DJ LeMahieu in 2025 as your leadoff hitter is not ideal, but you never know what could happen if all the right things go down. So that's important to note. Hopefully it does work out for DJ. I do want to see him get back on the field. It would be helpful for the Yankees for sure. And LeMahieu, back in 2020 in his best season with the Yankees, came in third in MVP voting after hitting with a .364 average, getting 71 hits and 10 home runs with 27 RBIs and 41 runs scored in 50 games in that shortened 2020 COVID season. He won his second Silver Slugger award as well, with 22 extra base hits of those 71, despite the fact that he's not a great base runner, so that is huge. OPS was over 1. The man was the best player on the Yankees this season. Just absolutely phenomenal season from DJ LeMahieu, but things did take a dip soon after that. We saw him over the last two seasons have a batting average of .232 with 162 hits, 17 home runs, 70 RBIs, and 74 runs scored in only 203 out of the possible 162 available games between the 2023 and 2024 season. 2024 is when he really took a dip and hardly played. He only played in around 60 games. LeMahieu was just constantly injured, constantly dealing with injuries, and once he got in the field, he was struggling to produce. He had a negative wins over replacement at -1.3, by far the lowest in his MLB career. So definitely just not the same guy that we once saw, with only a .204 batting average that year. The on-base percentage was under 3 as well, and the OPS was a .527. Really rough season last year for LeMahieu, but a lot of it was due to injuries, and the Yankees, specifically Aaron Boone, do believe that if LeMahieu is to come back and get healthy, he can be a version of that old player that we used to see. So Boone feels very confident in him. It's also Aaron Boone being everyone's best friend and never saying anything negative. So obviously it's something that should be taken with a grain of salt, but it is interesting nonetheless. Guys, on top of that, we do have another Yankees injury update as well, because not only is LeMahieu making his way back, but we're also getting a huge update on the now bearded Clark Schmidt, who is finally making his way back to the team. I don't know why I say finally, like it's been months and months and months, but he did deal with an injury and it has prevented him from playing yet, but he is on the way back now in a recent update. Now, right before we do get into that, on the topic of DJ LeMahieu one last time, there is an update from LeMahieu where it was mentioned by Dan Martin that with LeMahieu out, the Yankees have played the switch, hitting Oswaldo Cabrera at third base, but the position remains one that could be upgraded if LeMahieu doesn't prove to be the answer and Cabrera fails to hit consistently. LeMahieu also is taking grounders at second, but Jazz Chisholm Jr. has settled back there nicely, and LeMahieu's range has been limited even before the most recent injury. At this point, LeMahieu might not be a good enough athlete to play that middle infield spot. I don't want him to play that specifically because I want Jazz Chisholm to play that second base spot. I don't want Jazz going back to third base. At this point, third base makes more sense for LeMahieu anyway. He's not going to be as good of a fielder as Jazz. I know LeMahieu once was one of the best fielders in baseball, but again, that was 5 years ago at this point. So we do have to kind of take a beat with DJ and just kind of let him figure this thing out and have him more face third base, which does need more help. And Jazz is such a good infielder that he should be playing that second base spot anyway. So this all works out if you ask me personally. I like the way that things are going for the New York Yankees. I do want to see DJ get back and do some reps at third base to see if he could answer that problem that the Yankees have had at third base and have really failed to address, something we always thought they were going to address over the offseason, and they just didn't. And now where things are falling, it's time to address that. But it's also time to address the man Clarke Schmidt as well, because as revealed by Dan Martin, Clarke Schmidt is scheduled to make a rehab start with the Double-A Somerset Patriots on Saturday, with the weather permitting, and then another minor league outing before a potential return to the rotation from rotator cuff tendonitis that he had in the middle of, and he'll make the return in the middle of April, perhaps against the Royals on April 15th or 16th. So right in the middle, we now have a target date for Clarke Schmidt, which is absolutely huge. Schmidt was nothing short of phenomenal last year with the New York Yankees. We saw that, and Clarke Schmidt spoke on this, saying, I would say that's the weekend we have circled, April 15th or 16th, and it's exciting. My spring was delayed, which was tough, but it's good to be back here and around the guys, and Schmidt's been great for the Yankees. He always felt like a guy who, if he figured it out, he would just be so good for this team, and last year, Clarke Schmidt figured it out, man. He was great for the Yankees. Last season, he was shortened by an injury. He had a lat strain that made him miss literally June, July, and August. The entire summer, Schmidt did not play because he was dealing with that lat injury. The same thing that Luis Gil is going through right now. The Yankees also desperately need Luis Gil back, but we're still months away from that, unfortunately. But Schmidt last year pitched 85.1 innings, allowed 71 hits, and 2.85 ERA with 93 strikeouts and 16 appearances. The man was great. Strikeouts per 9 at 9.8, which is very impressive. Didn't walk too many guys, didn't allow too many home runs. Home runs per 9 under 1, which is phenomenal. Whip of 1.18, great whip. Everything about Clarke Schmidt was great, and the New York Yankees could use this upgrade desperately. Now, Schmidt, before he went down with the injury, was even better. Not by much. He was still great once he got back, but before the injury, he was on a hot streak, going 5-3 with an ERA of 2.52 and 67 strikeouts in those 11 appearances. So those next 5 appearances, a bit worse, but he did miss 3 months of the regular season, so it's fair that he's going to bounce a little back slower. But now Clarke Schmidt is going to be healthy, and this is absolutely huge for the team as you just look at where the New York Yankees are, and this is just going to be important for them. Their pitching desperately needs an upgrade right now. It's not bad, and it's early into the season, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. But you look at the 5 guys who have started games for the New York Yankees right now. First of all, we look at things, and when you go into an offseason or really into spring training thinking your pitching rotation is going to be Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, Luis Gil, Carlos Rodon, Clarke Schmidt, it's impossible to not get excited when you're going to move a guy like Marcus Stroman and everything like that. And you got Will Warren as an asset who you could either trade or use as a 6th starter at times. But no, here we are. Gerrit Cole's out for the season. Luis Gil's out till June. And the New York Yankees also lost Clarke Schmidt for a bit. But Schmidt now coming back into a rotation that's headlined by Carlos Rodon and Max Fried right now. Will Warren's in there as well, along with Marcus Stroman, who did not have a good outing in his one game that he's played so far and started. And Carlos Carrasco, unsurprisingly, and I don't mean to say it negatively, but unsurprisingly, the elderly Carlos Carrasco is not pitching well either. He's not getting the job done. The Yankees should put someone else in that spot because Carrasco's just too old at this point. But you look at Clarke Schmidt, and he's going to give this team a boost. Now, Rodon, he's a 3.97 ERA right now, and he had a good first outing with the Yankees, and then the second outing against the Diamondbacks, he did give up 4 runs in the first 2 innings, did not give up a run past that, so he did start pretty poorly, but he got things together quickly, which is nice. He is better once it's a little warmer out as well, which has its ups and downs with the Yankees, but he does get affected by weather at times, and, well, at the same time, he also pitched in Chicago and was downright nasty for them. So I think he'll be fine. but he did have a bit of a rough outing, but he got things going well. Outside of that, Max Fried was in kind of a shootout game. 3.86 ERA over that one game. Again, it's one game, so it's not really too much to be worried about. I do expect Fried to be better than that ERA right there. Will Warren pitched pretty solidly, but Stroman and Carrasco have not gotten the job done in their one start. Again, there's a lot of time to come. We'll see them pitch more. We'll see if they've got it. They'll probably each make another start before, maybe 2 starts before Clark Schmidt is back. This video is coming out and being recorded on Friday, April 4th, so we should see everyone make at least 2 more starts. Maybe not Rodon, but we'll see everyone have 2 starts under their belt when Schmidt comes back and ultimately take somebody's job. And with Carrasco already doing a game out of the bullpen, it's clearly going to be Carlos Carrasco, which makes the most sense. If you want to have Carrasco around as a veteran leader out of your bullpen, sure, but outside of that, you don't need the guy. Where the Yankees stand right now, what they need is Brian Cashman to either make a move, Aaron Boone to make an adjustment. I'm saying this like the Yankees are doing so like horribly this year when they're really not at all. Or just Clark Schmidt to come in and save the day. And I'm really excited to watch Clark Schmidt pitch. Finally figured it out. Man's been healthy. Going to be one of the headliners of this rotation this season. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest. I mean, a Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, Luis Heel, Will Warren / Marcus Stroman / someone else if they make a trade, which wouldn't be surprising, is not at all a bad pitching rotation. It's still a really good rotation. So the Yankees might not have Gerrit Cole all year, but they are going to get back 2 key members of this roster, and that's going to be huge. 3 if you want to count LeMahieu, if you believe in him bouncing back. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you're feeling a bit funky with it. I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird. So I'm going to stop this video. Have a great day and go Yankees.